welcome. This is Charlie, 4bz, also known as Forbes. But I have a great show for everybody today, and I really wanted to, if you haven't had an opportunity to meet my guest, his name is Ben, and his channel is called Taboo Conspiracy. Now, the reason I decided to reach out to Ben today and really just pick his brain on some issues is I feel like this channel is a little bit at risk. Some of the topics that I get into, and I recently received a strike, and honestly,
yeah, you should have had me on your show. You'll get another strike. I think they follow me.
Recognizes your voice frequency. Oh, crap. No, but seriously though, if it comes down to something like that, my channel getting deleted, that's really the topic I want to address. You know, the modern day book burning concept, and you're somebody that would know better than anybody because you've had your channel deleted twice, and now I don't know how much longer this one's gonna last. It's only been up for what, like a couple weeks, or 3 weeks or...
I don't expect it to last long, but I think with the other ones I get up to about 20,000 plus subscribers, and that's when they delete me. But it's, you know, again, I'm not here for subscribers, so it's not the hugest deal for me. You know, like I think it was that Aussie Shield, a pilot guy. Gosh, I can't think of his name right now. But he got on my channel and he said how, oh, I told you this was going to happen. They're just going to delete you every time. I was like, and you think I care? You know, so what? It's if they kept my channel on, I'd start to be concerned that I'm actually starting to miss the. I'm not over the right target area if they kept my channel on. So that's how it's a good sign when they delete you all the time.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I want a lot of my subscribers, if you're not familiar with his point of view. Now, granted, a lot of people might, we're going to get into the topic of flat earth. I'll just say it right up front. And, you know, a lot of people have the knee jerk, like, oh, I'll never listen to that because not only is it BS, but I'm indoctrinated and I'll never listen to whatever. Anyways,
we were all like that.
Yeah, so I'm not that guy that wants to masquerade as like, oh, I'm a flat earther. And I like to actually call myself you know, a truth. I'll just go down the truth rabbit hole, so to speak, and go where the evidence leads. Now, I believe that if there's any researcher out there that considers themselves flat earth researcher, I think that you're probably my favorite, would be just because.
Hey, thank you.
Well, I mean, think about the fact that you compile the science, the evidence that actually has legitimacy, and really, it's every time I send somebody a video like from you or whatever, they end up like saying, "Oh, those are, you know, anecdotal information," and anyways, they just reject it, like knee-jerk rejection. And so you know what I mean, though. It doesn't matter what you say to some people. Okay, so I'm just gonna check in real quick. This is Bo True. He's one of my friends. He has 2 channels he's operating from, it looks like. So I'm just saying there's people trickling in. I came in a little bit early, so I don't know if people are even aware that we're live yet, but I guess they'll trickle in. But so yeah, for anybody just getting in here, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're going to touch on. I don't really know if I know how to share your screen. If you have any pictures, I might have to experiment with that a little bit.
Yeah, I know how to do it on Skype. I don't think I know how to do it on this StreamYard.
Yeah.
But I don't actually have anything really or prepared for.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Now, if anybody sees the thumbnail that we made here, that actually has kind of those oil rigs that were like, I don't know, what was it, like 4 or 5 miles apart from each other? But the
BMLS B69 platforms where he gets the camera down to 1 foot. And
they're like 9 miles away.
yeah, I think the first one might have been 6, if I'm going right. And the next one I think is 9.
Yes.
Actually, maybe is 11.
Oh yeah.
Trying to just going back on memory there, but yeah, I think it was like 6 and maybe 11.
Yeah. So for anybody that isn't aware, and I don't think Bo True here has looked into, or any of the others that are popping in have done their investigation. But for anybody that isn't aware, it's like 8 inches per mile squared. Basically, it slopes over the curve, according to science, mainstream science, I guess.
Yeah, that curvature formula is kind of what changed it all for me, because I didn't believe it. All of a sudden they said it was 8 inches per mile squared. I looked it up on Google. At the time, Google said 8 inches per mile. They've actually now updated it, but at the time they said 8 inches per mile, and that's what everybody said. It was 8 inches per mile. And Rollbotham was saying 8 inches per mile squared in his book. And I actually, we plotted it all on AutoCAD just to make sure, and it was all very accurate. So 8 inches per mile squared is very accurate. Of course, they'll cite 4,000 miles and say, oh, look, there's a discrepancy. No, I'm talking about accurate overall visible distances, under 500 miles.
Yeah, one of the most telling things to me is when you actually look at a simulated like Google Earth. You could literally ascend above the surface of the Earth, and you can start seeing a curve on the simulation. And like, say you're 100 feet off the ground or something. Now, I remember one of my favorite quote unquote proofs that that you presented first was the one where somebody was on a hill, like, I don't know, 1,000 feet in the air or something, and they took a telescope and could view like 300 miles away. They saw like some island or something. I forget exactly what it was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I've done so many now, especially of those. But there was one where they did, you could see a little tiny lighthouse from, I think it was an island, but there was one in there in I think it was Italy, where they're up on high on the mountain. They could see it, hundreds of miles away.
Maybe that's one.
But you go on that Beyond Horizons website. You could go through a dozen of those. I actually did a video a while ago. It got deleted with another one of my channels. But I went through 12 of them, I think, and all of them, it's impossible under the curvature formula. All those.
So real quick, before we dig into this, because to be honest, the main reason I brought you on was to discuss really what would bring like the big tech companies, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all these companies to really shadow ban and censor this topic. I mean, if you go back to 2015, that's when I really started venturing into this mindset. I started looking into the stuff that was like very abundant as far as like looking for videos. And at first, you could say I'm the convert of Rob Skiba. And I almost disowned Rob Skiba, but I respected him so much that I wanted to debunk it, and that's the main reason I decided to venture down this road.
You too, huh?
Yeah. So, and again,
I was gonna save the flat earthers from the psyop too.
Well, so I realize that the following that I have is really the near-death experience people, and my first documentary that I made that was like pretty big. It almost has like 250,000 views now. It was talking about consciousness, transcending the body, and God in the afterlife. I think that's the title. It's called Frequency of Light and Patterns of Reality. And basically, it just gets into the quote unquote proofs of God through certain belief systems, I guess you could say. And now, when I say belief system, that almost comes across like it's taboo in some ways, because a lot of people don't like the word belief. but the reality is that everybody operates from some form of belief. And I really want to put that out there sometimes to kind of set the stage for discussion, because I really want people to understand that their perspective is really their filter, their lens of interpretation, you might say. And so let's just kind of set the stage. And now you, I believe I heard you say that you're a lawyer or in law practice of some kind. Is that true?
I do have a Juris Doctorate and I do have a background in law, but I'm actually not practicing right now.
Gotcha. Now, as far as credibility, for credibility purposes, oftentimes people will look at somebody that had that form of education as somebody that would be considered more credible. Now, again, I don't look at it that way, but often people will cite credentials in order to enter into a discussion with some sort of,
Yeah, and I hear you there. But I kind of don't go that route. I mean, I have mentioned it in a couple of my videos, but I really just don't hit it that much because I actually kind of despise that. I've got to the opinion that some of the smartest people I personally know, never graduated from high school. And so to sit there and go, oh, I have a master's, I have a Juris Doctor, I have these things. Yeah. It appeals to a lot of people, but I kind of despise even saying it because to me, it's not, doesn't measure how intelligent you are. Go ahead.
People in our community might dismiss it and say, oh, well, that means you've been indoctrinated.
and in truth, they're right. I did spend a lot of time getting indoctrinated. So, and that's why I think it did take me, I think I started talking about flat earth in about May 2015 or so. And it took me all the way till April 2016 before I'd actually call myself a flat earther. So it took many months of weighing the evidence. And that's actually how I got started in it. Is I was always I've been a moon landing debunker for quite a while. So let's get that out of the way. I hate to say it, but if you believe in the moon landings, you've been fooled. 100% fake. There's no question about it. You just have to do the research to look into it. But I was really into the moon landing debunking, and someone I respected, who was on one of these chat sites where I was doing it all the time, he came out and said, "Hey guys, you should check out the flat Earth," and that's where I was like, "Okay, that's ridiculous." I was going to debunk it because I was going to weigh the evidence, pull out all the evidence, and then I started this thread where I've said, everyone, globe earthers and flat earthers, present your best evidence. What do we have? And what was so crazy is that the globe evidence was pitiful. I mean, I could already cite, a few things in my head. I was like, well, the lunar eclipse was probably a big one. Maybe Antarctica, things like that. And then all of a sudden you start weighing the flat earth side and you're like, this is a lot more, you can go out and measure whether there's a curvature or not. You can do these things. And it was with that curvature formula where that one would stump me. I took months of investigating that curvature formula to make sure it was accurate. And when I figured it was accurate, and I bought that P900 camera and I filmed my wife, I think she was 6 miles away carrying a mirror in the sunset. And I watched her as speaking to her on the cell phone. She placed the mirror right in the water. I filmed her the whole way. She should have been hidden by 13 feet. And it was like, oh, wow. This is a difficult pill to swallow. Yes, my astronomy class in college was a waste of time. Everything I've learned. And it was at that time I decided that, I'm not sure, even my career choices, everything kind of changed after that, because it was like, I'm part of the bad system here. I'm part of the control system here. And so if I'm, as a Christian, I had to say, weigh these things and talk with my family, talk with my wife and say, can I continue to do what I'm doing? Can I sue people? Can I, get up those billable hours? Can I do these things that are morally questionable? And I had a harder and harder time doing that. And so, well, here I am today. a little bit poor.
I think in some ways we're in the same boat. I work for a company now. Let me just tell you real quick. I work for a company doing control board manufacturing. We're a subcontractor for we'll just say aerospace, because I don't want to give away the companies that work for.
Do not give away an employer. You'll be toast.
Yeah,
the Glove Trolls will attack your employer and everything else, and I could personally verify that. That's a fact.
Yeah, I'm very apprehensive to share too much information, but the reality is I help build satellite balloons.
Satellite balloons. Did you know they were balloons at the time?
Well, so the funny thing is, before I ever was involved with the Loon program or whatever, I actually heard people. I would tell people there's balloon satellites. I'm telling you, and then later our company started working with doing stuff like that. And I'm like, see, look it, they freaking do it. We're building them now.
That's great.
No, but
the balloon proof it's really a proof, because you think about satellites. That was the first knee-jerk response about flat Earth. Come on, there's thousands of satellites. I pulled it up on the website, 19,250 satellites right now, supposedly zipping around in space, and all of a sudden you start really thinking about it, and there's no pictures of them. You watch these videos of the International Space Station and that the ridiculous SpaceX car in space. There are no satellites there. There's nothing. And then when you find out about the balloons, and you're like, they have thousands of these balloons up in the air. How come I never knew about that? I was in astronomy. I was in college. How come nobody ever discussed balloons in space? How come they didn't discuss the fact that these balloons carry telescopes? I mean, I never heard that the balloon carried a telescope. I mean, why did we not hear about that? The fact that we never heard about these things, about these balloon satellites for all our lives until, that's proof enough right there to say, hey, wait a second, something stinks here, that they have thousands of these balloons that could go up for a year. Why do you even need to put something in space if you can put it in a balloon and have it stay up there for 1,000 years? You don't need satellites in space. And so, that was one of those big eye openers of, wow.
So I want to backtrack a little bit, or just back up to kind of square one. I'm going to just say right now, for anybody that is paying attention in the world right now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not political. I didn't vote because I felt like it was just a sham.
Hey, I'm with you there. I'm a proud non-voter too.
But the thing that I admit I would rather have Trump as the president than Biden.
I swear he's a pedo. so that's why. But
well, so the thing is that I'm starting to realize that they're shadow banning everything Trump on the big tech stuff, and not just that, but like the media. So again, if anybody's watching this whole fraud thing, and again, I think this is a tool to divide people, and they're definitely doing a good job. Sorry, I gotta put this up there. I voted for Kanye. Yeah, I voted for him because he's a Christian. Anyway.
Oh boy.
But but seriously though, like I feel like this whole freaking thing is a setup to divide people. But the mainstream.
So who do you think's going to win in the end?
Well, I think that somehow they're going to make it look like honesty will prevail, and the media actually will be exposed, because what they're doing is they're hiding the fact that there is fraud going on with the vote, and it'll really reveal that the media. So anybody that is following this, like this is a whole legit thing, just really consider, like, you can honestly see out in the open that the media is banning information, and that kind of goes to show that if they've been having this whole propaganda thing going back to Edward Bernays or whatever, this is proof of propaganda. So how is anything in history reliable? I mean, in some ways, I feel like the Bible withstood, history, because it was, brought back into the open with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it's always been in the book burning process. Everybody's trying to rid the Bible, but it's always been, it prevailed over time because people, whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make is that media is this is a great point that can be made to the reliability of the mainstream. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that they're censoring Trump himself is proof that they have a narrative and they're following it. If you are a fence sitter or you kind of deny flat Earth, do understand that there is a narrative that out there where they're trying to. Yeah, I mean, that was another thing that I was actually just watching a couple of videos lately, and I think it's like a horror movie I just watched with this these whisperings and this kid, and he kills himself or something. But anyway, they show a globe that he has in his house. Oh, and, yeah. Every kid in almost every movie has a globe in their room, or space stuff on their wall, or space blankets. Every movie, it's everywhere. They put the globe everywhere. Mm-hmm. And if why is that globe? Why is that symbol so important? I mean, if you really ask yourself, honestly, why is that so important? Why is that so ingrained in us that it becomes like this knee-jerk response that you challenge that? You just stepped on my religion or something like that. But so you have a narrative. Be careful whenever the media or anything has a narrative and they start censoring people that have an opposite narrative. For me, it's like the Corona nonsense. It's the media has a narrative. I pretty much take the opposite, and they better prove it to me without with substantial evidence before I'm going to follow anybody's narrative anymore.
Good, dude. You just got my freaking channel deleted. I'm just kidding. No.
What is he surprised? I apologize. There's so many subjects I want to bring up, but we start talking about Sandy Hook and Christchurch shooting and stuff, we're going to be in trouble.
I was listening. Richie from Boston, right?
Yeah.
Well, his channel was obviously deleted too. Like all of his channels are deleted except for his prepper channel or whatever. But I follow him on BitChute now, and so all his stuff is just. I mean, he's like cutting edge as far as I can tell. But he's just really showing the whole narrative of what's happening with the vax and things like that. And
the vaccine narrative. I mean, every news organization is saying how wonderful this new vaccine will be. I mean, don't take it. I mean, whenever they say something like that, you got to be like, whoa, wait a second. I may have believed in vaccines in the past, but I'm not taking this one.
Man, for all those gung-ho Trumpers, this is where they're like, they're not paying attention because, like, literally the military's going to deploy, 80 million vaccines or something in the next several months, or maybe more. I don't even know. Maybe it's 80 million the first month. But the point is, the way that they're talking about it, it's like they expect everybody to take it.
And then they're going to fire us from our jobs if we don't take it too.
I know.
They're setting it up.
And it's unbelievable to me. And I actually been talking to people about it at work, and people know me as like a lunatic at work. It's great. But they know that I, like, let's just say that one of the space agencies that we work for, they had this this board that kind of had on display the rocket that was being launched, and you could see the flat horizon, and I was like pointing it out. I even brought out my ruler. I'm like, hey, check this out, guys. And I'm like, they forgot to edit the spherical look to the horizon there. Anyways.
There's another proof. I mean, everywhere they show the fisheye lens as proof of curvature. I mean, that drives me crazy. My own sister sent me that picture of Felix Baumgartner over Planet New Mexico and said, "You're so dumb. Look at that. Your curvature's visible." And I'm just like, oh, geez, where do I
You
start?
crazy.
And I start talking about saying, well, do you know this is called a fisheye lens? You can see the proof of it when it inverts. And oh, shut up, you're just crazy. And then they just want to hear it. And it's like,
Did you do research? How could you not see this?
Yeah, I'm just so stupid. I didn't look at that before.
I know. And you know, the freaking proofs or whatever that they say, oh, well, didn't they circumnavigate the globe? And it's like all the same things. But I don't know. I honestly, if anybody here has never looked into this, I mean, good luck trying to find good information, because this is one of the first shadow banned topics that I kind of feel like was the initiation of.
I don't even say a shadow ban. I mean, she stood up in Congress and said she would censor flat Earth. So I mean,
I know, but that's like you know, going back to 2015, that was one of the first topics that was attacked before, you know, even the conservative views and things like that. Because obviously, like I was following this whole you know, unveiling of the you know, the fraud, the loading fraud or whatever. And for the life of me, I can't get it on my feed anymore because YouTube has shadow banned that topic, and I can't actually even find it when I look for it. Now, granted, I'm subscribed to Trump's channel, so I'll just go to his channel to see the latest information that supports his perspective, I guess. But that's the problem with all this, is you can't get more than one perspective. They're literally, you know, controlling. It's mind control. They're trying to control the narrative so that you take that side. Now, granted, the side that they consider the right perspective, like Fox News or something, even Fox News is calling Biden president-elect now. So I'm like, what the heck? I mean, even the Fox News is not even right anymore. And now, granted, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk politics. I know that that's a total turnoff.
Well, if I could say anything about it, you know, like I said, I'm a non-voter, and I'm proud of it because I believe it's a scam. I believe all. You
can't even talk about it unless you vote.
You're right. What a stupid idea that is. That's, you know, you engaged in their scam. I didn't, but I do believe. Personally, I think Trump will end up staying in power, and it's going to cause cities to burn. And are they setting us up for civil war or something? I don't know. I sure hope not. I'm not going to be shooting anybody. But that's what's scary to me, is what they're setting up. The possibility of, you know, even if they reverse it the other way, they're going to make you know, gun owners all upset too. And I don't know, but I think Trump is a part of it, as you know, a lot of people really have faith in Trump. I don't understand that. You know, as a Christian, you're not supposed to have faith in mammon. You know, the idea that man is going to lead us, it's not going to happen. But I mean, just use your brain, for goodness sakes. You know, space farce. You know, the vaccine propaganda is coming from him. We're all wearing masks under Trump. You know what I mean? He never stood up to that nonsense. You know,
he kind of threw a fit sometimes about wearing a mask.
And I don't like when he speaks both sides of his mouth. Sometimes he'll throw a fit and say, oh, it's all stupid. And the next minute he's talking how important it is. I mean, come on, use your brain. The guy's shady.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to see that there is no individual that's on our side. I actually feel like you know, anybody in politics, they might be on our side, but there's just no way that they have any sway in the government, even if. Yeah,
I really liked Ron Paul. I supported him for many years, but he you know, he's not perfect by far, but he was my favorite.
He was my favorite too. In fact, that's where I lost my faith in the system, because I saw the following that he had. It was like huge, like Trump rallies type thing. He was like. He had like so many people following him. I went to the freaking caucus that was local here in Boise, and I actually, you know, granted, most of the people here are Mormon, so they were all about, you know, Mitt Romney.
If I could picture the devil, I think it would look like Mitt Romney.
I bet you deal with the same kind of issues over in. How so are you? You're not in Salt Lake, right? You're not in that.
I'm not far, but northern Utah.
Yeah. So what? You're like 4 hours from me or something? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, about.
Yeah. So I'm. I mean, I wanted to go to that meetup, but here's part of my problem. I want to pick your brain on this.
Yes.
Now, you told me that your wife got involved with all this stuff, and you also said that she's kind of like, all right, we already proved it, so let's just move on.
Yeah. I love her, but that's where she stands. Is, come on. Already, how many times do we have to go out and do experiments? She's kind of lost her support there to stand across the lake with a flashlight.
Yeah. So I'll just tell you right now that my wife, I mean, the only thing that she'll talk to me about as far as any controversial topic is the vaccine thing. Now,
that's good. At least she's there.
Yeah. So she actually, we followed Del Bigtree with the High Wire. I don't know if you ever looked into any of his stuff. It's one of the other channels that got deleted. I follow him on BitChute as well. Oh. Very informative stuff. If you're not familiar, I would definitely check out all the stuff that they're putting forward is science. They're saying that face masks are worthless. They're bringing experts to the table, and this guy's legit. His channel got deleted because he's talking about science. It's ridiculous. Like, what is happening to our world? And like
open exchange of free ideas. That was the foundation and supposedly of America, and it's absolutely disappeared. They say, you know, it's corporate versus government. I'm sorry, but I actually think they're one and the same. Same people control the government, control these big corporations, and now they can censor us under a corporate facade and say, "Oh, it's just corporation, so we're not subject to the First Amendment." You know, yeah. It's clever. I have to give them that. It's clever to do it that way, but it's evil.
It's very unfortunate. And to be honest with you, okay, so this is why I do what I do. Contemplating the cosmos is kind of a facade of mine. I call it that because you know, I consider the cosmos the petri dish that we're in, and you know, the heavens that you can see above. Now, granted, I feel like it's a much bigger issue than just the shape of the Earth. I feel like that's just one way that you can introduce yourself to the deception in the world, and really, if you can bring yourself to believe that the Earth is flat just by science. I mean, don't be afraid to look at the science. But oh, by the way, I was going to mention one of the people that I talked to the most about this was my brother, and my brother is very intellectual and he's smart, and he will find reasons that I couldn't figure out on my own, trying to, you know, go on. I always looked up to him. I'm the youngest of four, and so anyways, I presented this stuff to him, and I'm like, dude, I know you probably think I'm a moron. And he's like, honestly, I don't think you're a moron. This is like, some of this stuff's pretty compelling. But he actually, he buys into the mindset of refraction causing the curve, or bringing things back into view, you might say. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you know, I let's say that was it, that you could see too far. If that was the only proof of the flat Earth, I'm not sure I would call myself a flat earther, because I'd be like, you know, I've had my camera out there. It does get distorted, things like that. So, but we're talking, you know, lifting it up without distortion, lifting up horizons beyond the like in that BMLSB 69 photo. The horizon should be blocking like 100 feet of the platform. So it disappeared, this big bulge, and then reappeared long way after it. No, you know, that's stupid. I don't care how you try to explain it. That's stupid. That can't happen. Now, if it was just that, I would say, you know, okay, maybe there's some natural phenomenon out there that we don't understand that's causing our vision to do that. But then you look at sonar. Well, wait a second. Shouldn't there be a sonar shadow? The acoustic shadow. Shouldn't there be one? You know, when you're blasting sonar waves looking for submarines, shouldn't a submarine be hiding behind the curvature of the Earth to avoid detection from a boat? No, that doesn't happen. Sonar, there always goes there. Like they say, this is perfectly flat. There is no such thing as a globe curved shadow.
Yeah.
That's a big proof. Come on, wait a second. Now you start looking at radar. Wait a second. What about radar? Again, you can see way beyond the horizon with radar. What about VHF waves? Well, the Nicobine system proved that. What about radio waves? What about Guglielmo Marconi? He sent that transmission 2,000 miles. You start adding in these little factors of like, well, what about surveyors? Do they actually account for the curvature? Commercial surveyors? No, never account for the curvature ever. You would think with when you start to have huge roads, civil engineers putting one big, freeway connected to another, they don't count for the curvature. Nobody does. And you start thinking about it. It's like, wait a second, then you look at the mechanical gyroscopes that are highly precise. I worked for a place that had the gyroscopes inside the drones, the actual drones used for the military. And these are very precise gyroscopes. No curvature, no rotational, none of that, no curvature corrections, nothing like that. So it's just not vision. It's everything that would go along with it. And so that's why it's like you start adding those things up, and you add in the fact that, we have the supposed, vacuum of space right next to our atmosphere. That always bothered me, but I'd never really thought about it. I don't know why I never thought about it. But once you think about it, you're like, that's impossible. It just can't happen. It would kill us all.
Everybody I've talked to about that, and that's one of my, I feel like that is like an ultimate proof for me. And a lot of people, like, they don't understand that a container has to hold gas in. And now, what was I going to say? Because I was thinking about, like, I think that maybe there's some sort of liquid, container or whatever. But as far as like how gas dissipates and spreads out over, like once it gets into that vacuum area, it actually pulls it, stretches it out basically, and the vacuum doesn't actually reach the atmosphere until it goes through the densest or the layer of the thermosphere or something. I don't know. It's honestly I feel like they're looking for any reason to not accept the alternative.
Yeah, I put out that video kind of just as a mockery of it, but you think of all these different things where it's like airplanes automatically nose their curve nose down because of gravity, or they say air pressure, whichever shill you're talking to. SR-71 would have to make a 30,000 foot adjustment every 5 minutes, flying at its maximum speed, things like that. And you're like, okay, so gravity automatically adjusts that. Refraction automatically adjusts my vision so I can see perfectly over a flat area. It removes curvature, removes humps of curvature, puts it way further behind. And then all of a sudden you go, okay, so then refraction also moves this, like sonar waves automatically go around the curvature of the earth. And you go, radar waves automatically do that. VHF waves now automatically do that. Everything wraps around the curvature to present this false flat earth. It gets to the point, it's like, how many of these things you have to combine before you're like, okay, come on, how many natural things out there could they do that just automatically hide the curvature of the earth? And, gyroscopes, all of that stuff. They say, well, it's automatically adjust to the curvature of the earth. Come on. Use your brain. Use your common sense.
So
think independently.
So for anybody that wants to do a little more deep dive or like a deeper investigation of this topic, I'm just going to recommend that you go to Ben's channel. And the reason I want, hold on a second, my computer is like crapping out real quick. Hold on. I wanted to actually put your channel in the link here, or link over to your channel. Okay, here we go. So this is, if you can click on that, go subscribe to Ben's channel. Now, the reason I want you to go to his channel is because you're not going to find this information just doing a YouTube search or even a Google search, because there's just no way that the shadow banning is going to allow good information. So again, and Bo just subbed to your channel, it looks like, so that's good. So
hey, thank you, Bo.
yeah, so anybody that wants to do a deeper dive, just freaking go to his channel. There's some really good information. I want to unpack some other stuff real quick, because this is really the crux of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I've come to realize that the deception doesn't stop at the physical level. You know what I'm saying? I think it goes beyond. Now, we had talked briefly as we were coming onto the show that I'm into near-death experiences. I do interviews. I try to explore the different perspectives. And I created a series called Patterns of Reality, because I want people to just look at the patterns and just stop, listening to tradition, and stop listening to, these, mainstream perspectives. Just follow the patterns, and, science and information speaks for itself. And so the philosophy of interpretation will basically show that your viewing lens is a perspective of belief. And you and I both kind of start from a Christian perspective. And now I've kind of ventured down.
Now let me be clear about that, because they're gonna lie about that one. But I was very much a heliocentric believer and a Christian at the same time. That actually challenged flat Earth, actually contradicted some of the people that I studied in my religious and spiritual beliefs. So I had to go against what I previously believed in. So.
Well, again, you've kind of entered through that door that allowed you to test your own foundation. And that's the important thing that I want people to try to do. And it's going to be difficult. And honestly, I haven't fully vested myself into rejecting my foundation. I am trying, but it's difficult with my wife, who doesn't really see eye to eye with me on certain things. So I've come to realize that this proverbial stairs of ascension allows me to, start with kind of the, 9/11, Sandy Hook, go up the stairs, and you have to see through certain filters in order to, get higher on that ladder of understanding. Now, once I walked through the door of flat Earth, I started realizing that this is a much larger deception than even the shape of the Earth. I actually realized that with near-death experiences, there's deceptions. With
So you're saying that people fake their near-death experiences to create a certain narrative?
I think that there's that, and I also think that people have a legitimate experience that is presented to them from the quote-unquote angel of light, or the devil or demons from the other side. And they have the ability. Now, let me just contrast a little bit about aliens. Now, I kind of believe that maybe you are in the same mindset as me about this, but aliens are either made up by the government, or they're actual biological beings that are I don't really know what they are, but I believe that they're spiritual in nature, and they're actually I'm going to say benevolent or malevolent. I don't even know the difference anymore. They're bad in the sense that they're presenting a narrative as well. And now, if you actually, I talked to a guy that was from 2001 to 2009, and I want to interview this guy, but he won't do it. He says that he had an implant in his hand, and it was removed. It was like alien in nature. And he actually said that he was visited by aliens in his house from 2001 to 2009. And they were grays, dark eyes, whatever. And but he said that they got into his mind and into his thoughts and controlled his body and things like that. And they gave him dreams. They gave him, they made him question his own reality and things like that. And now, either all this stuff was a figment of his imagination, like a lot of people will dismiss near-death experiences, or there were actual beings that were controlling his thoughts. And it made me feel like, wait, what if these kind of beings are intercepting people as they're dying and feeding them thoughts? And I think that maybe these spiritual beings, this battle is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and the rulers in the high places or the dark places. You know, I truly believe that this is a battle that we're in that transcends physical reality. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I absolutely agree. I also think, say you want to be rich, you want to be wealthy. I was just, I was listening to the Bible last night, and actually the Bible outlines how you can become rich and wealthy if you want to do it, but requires you to worship and bow down and worship somebody. That's what the leaders of the world do. They figured out the path to riches, wealth, and power. You just have to follow that little pathway there in the Bible. Just cost you your soul, but that's the path. That's why you see people flashing signs. Why? You always wondered, why do all these musicians flash these 666 signs and devil horns and stuff like that? That's part of their commitment. It's not something they're told to do, but they figured out that the rules of it are: you want power, you want prestige, you want wealth. Well, you got to play Satan, the devil's game. So yeah, I agree with it. With the near-death experiences being intercepted, maybe, maybe there's a point where they could do that. With respect to aliens, I had a girl I was really good friends with who swears she saw aliens in Zion's Park in Utah. She said they gathered in a circle. She actually got out of her truck, woke up with it raining on her in the back of a truck, and she watched them as they gathered in a circle with lights circling them and stuff like that. She swore by it. She was absolutely honest about it. I don't think she was lying. Is she being deceived? Well, maybe they are trying to deceive us into believing in aliens. Is that possible? Maybe. I don't know. I try to keep an open mind. I used to believe the Earth was a sphere wobbling and twirling through the vacuum of space. So I had to overcome that, and I've learned since then, don't be so quick to dismiss other alternative ideas. At least listen and ponder. I mean, I'm a Christian, not necessarily because I have seen an angel or anything like that, but it absolutely makes sense to me. What Jesus's Sermon on the Mount is the best path to a good society, and it's those morals that he outlines of forgiving your enemies and loving those who. If everyone practiced just a few of those things, everything, all the bad in this world would end.
I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, I believe that all of it, or not all of it, sorry, the 5 through 7, which is the Sermon on the Mount. I believe that is the crux of Christianity in some ways, because it actually not only talks about the Beatitudes and how you perform or present yourself as a Christian. Real quick, Joey, I would like to invite you on, but wait just a few minutes, because I don't know if Ben has that much.
I have about 10 more minutes. I gotta get my girl. I gotta read her before I go to bed, and I gotta go to work in the morning. So I got all that. And again, this isn't what I do for a living. I have to go get a job. I work like everybody else. So
and the bottom line is, I mean, I really enjoy Joey. I actually talked to him, and he does debates against for like flat Earth and stuff. And honestly, I don't want to venture down the road of Trump anymore. I want to just put that on a shelf. He's trying to.
It gets a little old. Where's it going? I don't care. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think Biden is creepy, and I think he's an evil person. And the fact that he wants to institute federal mandates on mask wearing, all that. Oh, heavens! I don't. Yeah, I don't want him. But here's my point of view. If Biden ends up winning, you're going to see the Republicans and conservatives start to fight against masks. They're going to start fighting against these things. And so in a way, it might actually make things better if we start getting more people fighting against it, because Trump is encouraging these things and it's all under Trump. Then the Republicans go along with it. But if it's a liberal Democrat doing it, you're going to start seeing people fight. So yeah, I'm not sure which one's better.
Yeah, I believe that Trump is going to prevail as far as maintaining his seat, I guess. But the main thing that's going to happen is people have already, gotten the narrative from the media that Trump is creating a coup to, keep his office. And if he actually gets to keep his office, that's just going to like you're probably telling the truth when you say that this place is going to burn, because obviously Antifa and all those other you look up Antifa.com, goes straight to freaking Biden's campaign site or whatever. I don't know if that was intentional or if it was something that was hijacked by Antifa, but anyways, the point is I have a few videos that I put in a list on my channel that talks about the SEAL team that went down in a helicopter or whatever. That actually was linked to Biden, and they actually killed those guys because they knew more information than they didn't want people to know the truth, I guess. And there's some people that came forward, and I actually have videos of them explaining their perspective, and they're linked to all that. So I don't know if you don't want to do an investigation, find that list on my channel. But anyways,
so just some word of advice for people that are like Trump supporters and stuff. If it ends up that Trump wins and the cities start to burn and do not get into their civil war. That's, their main goal is to reduce the population to 500 million, according to Georgia Guidestones. Yeah. So in order to do that, they need to create conflict. Don't play along. Don't take up your guns. Jesus taught us to turn the other cheek, and to, we need to try to build that Christian society now. And so that's where I disagree. I have a lot of guns, but I've changed my tunes over the years as I start to realize that, something, they want me to use those guns. They want me to go around because they're going to only benefit from it if we start shooting each other. So I would say, be careful of following certain narratives.
I've heard people say, "Damn liberals, I'll get you," or they talk like that, and it's like, yeah, come for my guns, I'll freaking,
they want you to go shoot the cops, and they want the cops to shoot you. They want that, and that's the crazy thing. And so I would say, be very. I'm not saying you should let people kill your children and your wife, whatever. I'm not saying that, but don't start engaging in their narrative where you're going out and actively seeking battles with these people, because I'm worried what's coming. I don't,
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to operate from fear, but I definitely feel like, so, and this is something I talk about with people a lot, but love conquers all. Love is the opposite of fear, I guess. And if we just operate from love, or the perspective, so like going back to Matthew 5-7, it literally tells us how to be like Jesus. He says, follow. I'm the foundation. So, the song when you grew up in Sunday school or whatever, or maybe you don't, but basically the wise man built his house upon the rock, and the rains came and cut tumbling down.
It's a kid's song, right?
The rains came down and the floods came up. But but the point is, the foundation was Jesus. And it says that Jesus, the point that he made was to lay the foundation by doing the will of the Father. And that's the ultimate, we are to follow after him. We're to build our house on that foundation. So when I talk about the lens of interpretation, I kind of look at it like we start with a foundation, right? And we build a house on a foundation. If the foundation is built out of sand, it's worthless. It's not going to stand up to scrutiny. Now, I believe that, truth, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Anyways, I believe that you and I are on a similar page in a lot of ways. And I really hope that you continue to venture down these roads of, challenging the system. And, and really, I encourage you, if you're not involved in a fellowship of some kind, and I believe that the church is being pushed underground right now, the true truth. Because
I don't believe in any of the organized religions, and so I think just like with our science, we need to redo science. Science has failed us big time, so everything needs to be done with respect, redone with science. Same thing with religions; they have failed us miserably. And for me, you have to. The only logical approach is independent Christianity right now. I'm not saying I know all the answers; I don't, but that seems like the most logical choice for me. So
yeah.
But,
now we're approaching about 4 minutes left in the show. Now, granted, I'm probably going to stick around for a minute.
Okay.
Joey, if you're still wanting to come on, I'll put a link to the StreamYard, and if you want to pop in, we'll say hi. But as for Ben, if you were hoping to talk to Ben, he got it going. He has a family and a life to he's prioritizing, which is good. So I'll give you about 3.5 minutes or whatever, however long you want, to kind of give your closing thoughts on kind of what you hope people will get from your work, and what you hope people will do in these crazy times, I guess.
Well, I guess most important for me is that people need to start to think independently. Stop following everyone else's narrative. I think I've presented a pretty strong case for the flat earth. So if anyone is on the fence, I suggest they watch my video from it's called our flat earth journey, the Romania presentation. I would suggest watching that just to at least get you started. But for me, the most important thing is use your own mind, use your own, go out, investigate, grab some binoculars, a telescope, and a Nikon P900, whatever it is, and start investigating. You'll start to see it for yourself that they, I can't say, exactly how the flat earth model works. And I think a lot of times we don't have all the answers because we're talking about God's creation here, for crying out loud. I mean, we're like, ants trying to understand a Boeing 747. We're just not going to grasp it. I'm not saying we shouldn't try to figure things out, but I mean, we're not going to always have all the answers. But when you start to think about it, to ponder it, go through all the evidences and things, and you start to see that the flat earth case is huge. And if they lied about that, I mean, if they lied about the shape of the earth, why did they do that to you? There's some control mechanism that they've done to you. And if that's the case, you need to break free. And that's why I keep talking about the flat earth, because to me, it's like something needs to help you break free, because when you realize the earth is flat and stationary, not twirling through space, it changes everything. I'm not saying it's in a good way financially. It doesn't help you that way, but it does change everything, because you start to, your eyes, those goggles that they put on you, you finally get to break free from them. And I love the feeling it gives you, because it opens up all sciences again. And you're like, wow, we need to reevaluate these things. And anyway, I guess that would be my final message there. Use your independent thinking.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's kind of a lonely road to journey down, but I guess once you embrace the truth, it feels more like you're more. I'm gonna bring on Joey just to say hi as you're leaving. So, hey Joey, what's up, man? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
What's up, guys? What's up?
Hey, Joey.
Maui
for Trump.
Yeah,
man, you're
I'm a big fan flat earther too. I'm 100%. I've been a flat earther for a while, and right on, brother Ben. You look like a good-looking version of Joe Rogan, my man, and I love your talk. Yeah,
hey, thank you, appreciate it.
Flat Earth changed my life. It changes everybody's life, and it's so easy to prove. But we have to get through the indoctrination, just like.
Yeah, I mean, when you yank off those goggles, it's just like, whoa, it changes everything. But it took me like
a Christian
9 months to yank those goggles off, because I did not want to take them off.
Hey, Joey, did you debate Simon Dan or did?
I'm debating him next month.
Oh,
so
you are?
I've been on his show before to fight the flat Earth. I've debated McToon and all those characters. I'll debate anybody I can, because even though we go on their shows and they just go there to make fun of us, we're planting seeds to their audience. So yeah it's going to be Simon Dan, and then Fight the Flat Earth wants to debate me again after Simon Dan.
Nice. He's a psycho.
I love them. They're helping us. God bless them. They're helping us plant seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably right. And you know, I appreciate like the Nathan Oakley's channel, things like that, where they debate these scumbags. But for me, it's I can't do it anymore. I don't have the heart for it.
It's irritating.
Yeah.
It's irritating.
You know, with my channel, I hate to say it, but I ban a lot of them because I just can't stand it. I know they're lies. I know they're deceptions and how they try to trick them. You know, they're straw man arguments, and I get so sick of hearing it. It's like someone scratching on the chalkboard. It's like, oh, I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a good question. So as you know, I'm voting for Trump and I'm pushing and promoting Trump, but I never used to. I never voted in my life, and I was in the same, same as most truthers. Like they're all the same, two wings, same bird, and stuff like that. But then, I'm a Christian, and I'm a Christian because of flat Earth and evolution. I used to believe that the Earth was a globe and the evolution was real, and then I learned both of those were lies, and it kind of led me down the road of the Bible. So about a year ago, I started praying to God for him to reveal anything to me, whatever it was. If there was something I was doing, please let me know and I'll stop doing it. Like, masturbating or pornography or whatever it was, it doesn't matter. Something that I couldn't even realize, right? Or fathom. Well, all of a sudden I stumbled on Romans 13 verses 1 and 2. If you guys aren't familiar with it, I'll give you verbatim what it says, but that made me flip my script, and that's why I ended up voting for Trump.
Go ahead, please. What is it? I'm not that great as a scriptorian.
Okay, well, just to paraphrase it, Romans 13 verses 1 and 2 basically says, in God's words, you must obey your government or authority. Some Bibles say you must obey your government, for God has ordained all governments on earth, and there are no governments on earth that God has not granted power towards. And if you disobey your government, God will punish you. And it was such a strong verse that I was like, wait, so we have to obey them, and they're here for a reason? So if so, then who do I want? Biden, who wants to kill babies up until birth, or Trump, who's a Christian, who's Let's say hi to Uncle. Say hi, uncles.
Oh, hi, Uncle.
Hi.
Hi there,
Jesus is king.
Hey, let me address your Roman statement. And it's not that, and I appreciate it. And if you feel like that God has told you that, all power to you. And I'm not trying to contradict that, because
no, I'll have my mind changed.
You need to follow your prayerful heart, your humble, truthful, sincere heart. Follow that above anything I would say. But I'm not sure, and this is me personally speaking, I am not sure I believe everything that Paul has said. To me, Paul, like Paul, Romans, things like that, these are things that he had a good insight. He had great things like that. But they was also very much kind of into the government, things like that. I kind of follow the more trust what the Jesus himself said. That's my approach, because you start going in what some of the things Paul said. I mean, especially about women and things like that. They're not right. And so I don't take the Bible and go, every word I read in here is absolutely fact, absolute scripture. I take a little bit more. I use my own personal judgment, my own personal intellect, and try to rely on that. So, if that's what your path, that's great to you. But again,
let's just flow with each other, because we'll go back and forth for a second. It's not a debate, it's just brothers in Christ, three brothers in Christ. But so then it's not just Romans 13 verses 1 and 2. We have to all remember as Christians that before we had kings and hierarchies and rulers and presidents, we had judges. And we actually are the ones that our forefathers are actually the ones that begged God for a king, which is a president.
Exactly. And look what problems it brought to them.
Yeah. So now we're the ones that beg for it, and they can't go away, and they're there. And so Romans 13 is just backing that up, in my opinion. And Timothy says several times to pray for our governments. Go ahead.
Hey, Joey, I'm going to read it real quick in context here, because I want to clarify a little bit. So it says, let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and for those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. So now let me just say right now that Daniel did not cooperate with that. mindset. He actually went against the ordinance of the government by praying, and God really brings him out in the open to use him as an example to look to, I guess you could say. Now, granted, we'll be.
He was tricked though.
What's that?
They kind of just did a trick on him though. You know, they were jealous of him.
But, you know, you had to think about Jesus himself. Did he follow his governing principles? You know, the government.
He said, "Give unto
crucified
Caesar that which is Caesar's," and he said,
"Yeah, but he was still
crucified.
He was crucified by them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if he was following them to a letter, to line, would he have been crucified by them? No. So Jesus himself wasn't following the rulers. So that's why I say, take it as you want. But for me, I'm a little hesitant with the writings of Paul, especially being a good slave, that kind of stuff. No.
But see, I also have more too. And this isn't biblical. But, for me, when the Black Lives Matters movement came out, I was over here debating people left and right, saying that it's a pure evil movement. Systemic racism is a hoax. White privilege is a lie. All this different stuff, And the Biden Democrat side, they're the ones that invented and organized the KKK, the BLM, abortion. And they're the ones that created this whole COVID hoax. So for me, I'm like, I would choose them anyways because I'm so against all this stuff. And then the Bible kind of, in my mind, confirms it.
Yeah. Well,
no, I agree that they're representative of a lot of evils out there.
Yeah.
And the abortion evil is
up until birth. How crazy, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch
it.
it.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out a little bit. What did you say, Joey?
Can you hear me better now?
It's just kind of hesitating, and your voice is not going along with what your face is doing, I guess.
And hey, I got to interject here. I appreciate both of you, and especially Charlie. Thank you for having me on your show. Yeah. But I got a girl. I got to read her bedtime stories too, and it's important for me. So
God bless you, brother.
God bless both of you, and thank you, Charlie, for having me on your show.
Thank you.
It was great talking to all of you.
Yeah, I'll send you some links by email.
Okay. Hey, have a good night, everybody.
All right.
God bless you.
All right. So, Joey.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate your perspective, and honestly, I would prefer Trump to be the president than Biden. I'll just tell you that right now. Now, granted, I am kind of in the same camp as Ben as far as feeling like this is kind of a narrative, and they're creating division with the two, like the Hegelian dialectic, so to speak. The right and the left is both wings of the same bird kind of thing. And now I believe Trump is doing things that I want to see done, which is like doing executive orders that protect our rights even on social media. And that's one thing that really stood out to me. And I actually everybody in my family is gung ho Trump. They're saying that he's like the he's like the freaking Cyrus that is called back into yeah, I don't know if you're on mute. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just muting myself because my daughter's being a little bit singy.
Yeah, my I have a 2-year-old that is singy sometimes. No, but,
is your 2-year-old vaccine free?
Absolutely. And in fact, now hold on. They backed us into a corner when he was born. Like after they suctioned his head out and said, if he doesn't get the vitamin K shot, he could be hemorrhaging in his brain. And we had to ask them, is the vitamin K straight vitamin K, or is there things that are like toxic? And they straight up said it's vitamins. Later, come to find out, there's all these preservatives like mercury and all this other freaking crap that is toxic. That's the only thing my first son got. My second son hasn't gotten anything, and both of them are very healthy. And we get pressured all the time to freaking do the vaccines or whatever. So, So anyways, I appreciate everybody that's stuck with us up to this point. I guess we're changing gears a little bit, you know, with Joey. Now, if anybody isn't familiar with Joey Rocha, is that how you say your last name?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
So I ran into you on Gypsy Road back in the day, and you know, I really appreciated what you were saying. And
thank you,
so
brother.
I subscribed to your channel as I started listening to your rants here and there, and
thank you.
And here you are. I guess you know, I like this community. We can all stick together.
I love the community. The only reason I'm on your show, I could go on lots of people's shows. I don't go on everybody's shows. I either go on people's shows that are, you know, pretty much most of the women in the community, because there's not too many women to support them, or the handsome guys in the community. You know what I mean? And you're a handsome guy, so like, I want to be on your show because I'm all about handsome truthers. Handsome truthers, handsome, tall, good-looking, Trump-supporting truthers, 100%.
No, that's all Ben. He's the Joe Rogan freaking model over there. So
yeah. I mean, he looks like a good-looking, like I was like, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So you saw my videos on the Black Lives Matters, you know, debunking the BLM movement, and I was hardcore on that. You know what I mean? I was debating people left and right on systemic racism, the stupid reverse racism, the white privilege, the systemic police brutality, and you know, all this stuff. And I was crushing it. And then you know, then I started getting into the politics part, and you know, we're all slowly doing a gradual. We're learning. I hate to say evolution because we all know evolution is a hoax, but I just like that word. It's an evolution of learning. And so, you know, we're evolving, and I'm a kind of person, brother, you know me already. I'm the kind of person, what I think, even if it's not popular, I will go 100% guns a-blazing. And so I've been going on to everybody's truth show, Flat Earthers for Trump 2020, you know what I mean? Because I think that we're asleep in the truth community. We have our heads in the sand thinking.
I'm particularly interested. I'm interested in your debate with Simon Dan. Is that going to be live? And who's moderating?
It's going to be live in the.
You're breaking up.
I don't know who's going to be moderating it. Whoever he wants. I hope to God it's somebody good that doesn't keep cutting in, because that's my biggest pet peeve. It ends up being 2-on-1. But it's going to be epic because Simon Dan's never debated anybody before. So I'm going to be the first person he's ever debated. I've been on his show twice already. And you know, by popular demand, because his people, they can't stand me. And so I guess they want someone they can't stand, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm more than happy to. And unlike Taboo Conspiracy, who's irritated with them, I too am irritated, and I totally understand Taboo Conspiracy. But I'm just taking it for the team, because in my mind, there's people that are watching his show. He's got a lot of subscribers. There's people that watch his show that I can't reach out to. So it's like an easy, you know, spend 2 hours of my life on his show, debate him, you know, go back and forth, give laws of physics, let him give his stuff, and then, you know, hopefully wake up more people.
Somebody else wants to join the stream. Hold on.
Enoch.
Oh, what happened? You bailed. All right, he's gone.
Come back, Enoch.
Oh, what the heck? Hold on, let me repost this here. Yeah, Enoch was on here. He wanted to. This is cool. I mean, honestly, I only have a limited time at this point. I could probably go for maybe another 10, 15 minutes.
Same here, brother. I got to get going. You saw my daughter. She's ready to play, and you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I saw you on here live, and I'm like, oh, I would love to join you on your show. And then you said I could, so amen.
This is the kind of thing that I love, is people just popping in for a second, even just to say hi. You know, my wife, again, I was trying to tell Ben, Taboo Conspiracy, she is not fully vested in anything beyond vaccines. She honestly doesn't want to talk about anything outside of that. She doesn't like talking flat earth. She doesn't like talking politics, or even talking about vaccines is pretty dark, and she gets scared at what's coming with the vaccine.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, so anybody that's has their eyes a little bit open will see that this is not right, what's happening. And I personally believe either it's like them trying to make us think that it's the mark of the beast, or it is the mark of the beast. I don't know. And again, I don't know if the vaccine's really the mark of the beast, or if it's the chip that is the tracking system, or whatever. But it might be all tied together.
And you know, we're also speculating. You know, sometimes we forget to be honest, and we're truthers. Sometimes we speculate so much that we assume it's the truth. And like a lot of us, like myself, believe that we could be in the end times, right? And it seems like there's a lot of signs. But in reality, the end times could be in 200 years from now or 500 years from now. So we don't really know. So the mark of the beast may not be coming up soon. The mark of the beast may not be for a long time, or it may be coming soon. Like they say, December 21st, 2020 is going to be the Star of Bethlehem. The actual Star of Bethlehem is supposed to reappear. I don't know if you heard about that.
I thought it already 2007, or I forget, 2000.
Yeah, but in the way that it's in the way that it's actually going to appear to where we can see it with our naked eye, it hasn't happened since 1623, and the time before that supposedly is when Jesus of Nazareth was born. You know, I don't really know all this stuff. I'm just going off of what a lot of people are saying in the truth community, like Crow 777 and stuff. People who I trust that know their stuff. But who knows? I mean, I like to live my life as though it is the end time, so I can get myself straight. And if it isn't, then I'm not afraid. You know what I mean?
So you interviewed Crow, right?
No, I didn't interview Crow. I watched his show and he was talking about it.
I feel like somebody I actually talked to actually interviewed Crow, and I'm trying to remember who it was.
I've been on his show. I've called into his show because he used to work with Robert Bassano. You know who Robert Bassano is?
Yes, I would love to interview that guy. He's crazy.
I used to do shows with him. I used to do shows with Robert Bassano. We had a little tiff. Me and Robert Bassano had a little tiff. A little split in the party.
I have one of my favorite videos that I've seen was with him calling that NASA director of Hubble, and basically he freaking.
Oh, that was epic!
I know, that was freaking crazy.
He said, by my calculations, the ISS should be in the I forget where he said, but I mean he was just spit. I mean I couldn't believe how well. I believe that Robert Bassano single-handedly cemented for all flat earthers that satellites are a hoax with that phone call. That was just like groundbreaking. You know, the way he was able to just with he's so intelligent. I couldn't believe how intelligent he is.
Really well. He actually held himself like amazing. I thought he was yeah.
With a person of that caliber, my goodness.
Oh yeah, that was pretty sweet. I got a text from my wife. I told her that I'd be done at 9. And,
okay, I gotta go too, brother. Yeah, I gotta go too.
So I really appreciate you stopping in, and I actually want to unpack a lot of this stuff more with you. So maybe we can revisit this kind of stuff. I want to do this like on Sunday night, but
Sunday's perfect.
I can't even lock things down like for the life.
We'll see. Sunday sounds good though because I'm free on Sunday after I do church and stuff in the morning, and then I'm free at night. So yeah, that'll be great.
And I emailed you that I don't know if you remember me emailing you. I was going to moderate this debate that you were going to have with that dude. Honestly,
with, More Than a Flame.
Yes, he's been talking to me, but honestly, I want to be the moderator in the sense that I don't want to take his side necessarily, but I don't know how he carries himself at all, or. I actually
the only thing that's the same with me. I don't know how he carries himself, and I don't want it to be just two truthers kind of like calling, like, a lot of times somebody like him, and I don't know, I can't say, maybe I'm wrong, but somebody like him will end up accusing me because I don't agree with him of being like a government agent and all this, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like nobody's a government agent. You know what I mean? There's no shills.
Like all about, labeling people shill and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't like about a lot of flat earthers. Because they're so quick to call someone a shill, and I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody is a shill. Maybe freaking Mark Sargent is a shill. Maybe Eric Dubé is a shill. I don't know. But to be honest with you, I don't care. I there's no way to know unless you know what they're doing. So,
well, my opinion on it is that it's ridiculous. We've never proven one single shill. Patricia Steere was called a shill for years, and I defended her. And here's the thing. It would be stupid for the government to have, let's say, Eric Dubé or Mark Sargent or you or me or Taboo Conspiracy be a shill, because they're waking people up to the flat earth. Unless flat earth is a lie, it'd be stupid for them to have them as a shill because they're waking people up. We're all waking people up. So it would make no sense.
And you can't make money off flat Earth because it
No.
really buries you. In fact, I'm probably gonna receive a strike, or this video is gonna get taken down. I don't know. My channel's at risk of that because I did receive a strike a couple weeks ago, and my channel was you know, I couldn't do anything on it for like a week, and I'm like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? So obviously my channel's being targeted. So, and that's kind of where we're at. We're in the modern day book burning, and you're not allowed to speak truth anymore.
Right.
Men will call evil good and good evil. And
Amen.
That's exactly
Amen. Crazy.
And well,
Crazy.
I gotta cut it short. And for everybody that's with us, I love you very much. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. And yeah, is that Yahweh? What does that say? Oh, you're freezing. Anyways.
Yeshua.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeshua.
It says Yeshua.
Yeah, you froze there for a second. I couldn't tell. So anyways, yeah, man.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah, your internet's lagging or something, or mine. I don't know. But anyways, the bottom line is, Joey, you're the man, and Trump 2020.
You're the man. Yeah. Tell your family I love them and God bless them, and to keep on supporting Trump because he's going to drain the swamp.
All right, man. Well,
love
God
you, brother.
bless.
God bless.
All right, we'll talk to you later. We'll see you guys. Have a good night.
Ciao.